Hello and welcome to tonight's episode of Mind Explorations. Today I am with the world's fastest hypnotist, Sean Michael Andrews, who is coming to us from his kitchen, I believe, or his office or kitchen
Office.
in
Office.
Florida. Your office. Wonderful. So, we are going to talk about instant and rapid inductions today, and that's what you're best known for. And I've known Sean for quite a while now, and we've met at various conferences. And you actually always talk about instant and rapid inductions, don't you?
Uh, that's one of the things that I talk about a lot.
Uh-huh. Wonderful. Well, welcome to good to have you here. And so tell me, Sean, how did you get into hypnosis in the first place? You've done this for a while, a bit longer than we have.
Yeah, I guess it was about would have been about almost 40 years ago. I was working for the American government, and they sent me to a course. And the reason why was because I was a new supervisor, and what they like to do with their supervisors is pick them up and say, "You don't work here anymore. This is your new mission.
Oh,
That don't break it." And so it was a course on rapport building, because suddenly you're in an office with a bunch of people who don't know you, with whom you have to establish rapport, and as I say, don't break the mission. So this course was NLP,
hmm.
and the rapport building in NLP actually changed my life. It was, I mean, I've always loved people. I have to talk about my sister Terry.
Go
My
ahead.
sister Terry is the most, um, she is the most popular person I've ever met in my life. My sister has thousands of very close friends, and I guess she has charisma. I've never had that. I love people, but they didn't love me back the way they love my sister. My
Oh,
sister, all right, we were in high school, and I was a senior. I'd been in this school for 3 years, and my sister came in as a freshman. And after just a couple of months, they started referring to me as Terry's brother,
right.
because because everybody loves Terry, and she was the most popular girl in school. Anyway, so what I found with NLP rapport building was that I could I could be similar to Terry. I could
Hmm.
establish rapport with people, and it just opened up a whole world to me, and I could get along with people better than I had ever in my life, and I loved it. And then I started studying NLP, and I realized it was based in a large part on the work of Dr. Milton Erickson and the hypnotist. And
Hmm.
so then I studied Ericksonian hypnosis, and then from there I branched off into Elman style hypnosis,
Hmm.
and then that was it. That was what happened. So I was bit by the hypnosis bug. I love hypnosis. I love the idea of helping people. I also love the idea of entertaining people.
Hmm.
And so that's how I got started in hypnosis.
Okay. So did you have your own practice then, or did you stay with an
No,
employer? No. Okay.
I stayed with the government until 2002. And
Wow.
then in 2002, they decided to offer what they call an early out. And
Ah,
that meant you could retire early. So in my early 40s, I retired from government.
wow.
And then I could then I could go into hypnosis full time. I actually went back as a contractor, but
Right.
mostly that was when I made my break and got into hypnosis mostly full time.
Hmm. So you love to entertain with hypnosis as well,
I
and
did.
that means stage hypnosis, right?
Yes, stage
Hmm.
hypnosis, and it's different. But I tell you what, some of the things that you learn in stage hypnosis are really good for a therapist to know. For
Hmm.
instance, if you're a therapist, particularly if you're a new therapist and you want to get clients into your practice, if you can use stage hypnosis techniques when you're giving presentations, and
Hmm.
giving presentations is absolutely the best way to bring new clients into your practice.
Right.
Excuse me. And if you can do instant inductions and fun stage hypnosis things, blend that into your talk, you 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 amaze people. They see that and they say, well, then obviously this person could help me with any problem that I have. And so,
Yeah.
so stage techniques are really useful for a therapist to know.
Hmm. Do you have some tips for us if we do a presentation, what kind of tricks we should include?
Oh yeah, as a matter of fact, I I have a I have a talk that I gave. Oh, this is a talk that I've been giving for 20 years, and I'd be happy to share it with them, a
Oh, that would be
transcript of
great.
the talk, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's just a PDF. I'd be happy to share it with them.
Wonderful. Yeah. Okay. PDF. Okay, great. Yeah, but just like a few ideas right now in the in
Oh,
this
okay,
talk.
sure.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
Question:
sure, go ahead.
single person induction versus mass induction.
Yes,
Because when you give a presentation, you're hypnotized. You want to hypnotize the group. You want to
I
bring
give
the group into.
I do both. I do both. Actually, all right. Let me go from the beginning, and
Mhm.
I've got a good answer for you. Okay, so I'm introduced, and I thank the host, and I give them a brief history of hypnosis, and the reason for that is to give you the it makes you more the expert because you know more. Everyone in this call knows more about hypnosis than anyone who's going to come to your talk. Okay,
Yeah.
so you talk briefly about the history of hypnosis, maybe 5 minutes, 7 minutes, not too much. Maybe you talk about Braid. Maybe you talk about Esdaile working in
Mm.
India. Maybe just these are Mesmer. Okay, so you give them a few of these. This is sets up your credibility. All right,
Hmm.
and then if I like to ask the group, I say, does anyone have any stress in their life? Well, all the women will admit to this, and none of the men will. So I say, well, I have a relaxation process that I can walk you through, and I'll tell you, it's very relaxing. So if you'd like to, and then I do a Dave Elman induction.
Right.
I just don't
Okay.
say hypnosis during the induction. But I do warn them. I say, you know what? The funny thing is, the stress goes away so quickly that last time I gave this talk, three of the ladies went into hypnosis. But there's only one danger in that, and that is that you might feel wonderful. Okay. So anyone who would like to participate, and so I do a Dave Elman induction, which takes about 3 minutes,
Mm.
a couple of deepeners, and then I just give them suggestions of letting stress go and that sort of thing, and then I emerge them
Yeah.
from hypnosis,
Hmm.
and then I while I'm doing this, right, I'm watching the crowd, and I'm looking for the people who now have their head between their knees because they've gone deep into a trance. And of course, these are the people that I'm going to take for my
Mm.
volunteers when I do the
Yeah.
one-on-one inductions.
Hmm.
And then sometimes what I'll do is I'll do a suggestibility test. Well, I'll often do that because
Yeah.
they're fun. And we'll start out with books and balloons, right? And then we'll
Mm.
go to finger magnets. And when about half of the audience has touched, I'll say, and as you stare at those fingertips, sometimes they stick. As a matter of fact, if you stare at the fingertips, they stick so much that if you try to pull them apart, they stick even tighter. Try to pull them apart, they stick even tighter. Well, then I walk into the audience, and the people that are staring at their fingertips and they're stuck, I just gently push their hands down and say sleep, and
Hmm.
just leave them there, right? And then I come and collect them, and I bring three of them or four of them up into the chairs that I've got up set up in front of the room, and then I'll do some instant inductions with them and some testing. I'll
Hmm.
test that Aaron's one, that their eyes lock. I'll test Aaron's two, that their arm is stiff and rigid. I'll test for Aaron's three. I'll stick them to the arm of the chair,
Mm.
and then I'll pick the best one and I'll take away his or her name, and the audience is amazed. And then I might talk about, after I played with them a little bit, but very respectfully, after I've demonstrated hypnosis with them, then I will talk about what you can use hypnosis for weight loss, for smoking cessation, for phobias, for all these sort of different
Mm.
things. And then at the end of the talk, you give them and you'll get this in the transcript that I'll send to you. It's a PDF, and I think that or a Word file, doesn't matter. And then I say now anyone who books an appointment with me within the next week, you'll get whatever percentage off of the normal fee, and that's then sometimes I'll take questions, which I love. By the way, as I'm talking this evening, if anybody has questions, just go ahead and ask them, because it makes the talk better, and often it makes me remember things that maybe I would have forgotten to share. I don't keep secrets. I love to share, but sometimes I forget stuff.
That's true.
If you ask me a question, okay, yes, Esther.
But I do have some etiquette. Please put your hand up, your virtual hand. That's okay. In the reactions, or put your question into the chat, whichever you prefer. Just so that we can keep a line in our talk. Okay, so those are some great tips. So should every new hypnotist do that kind of thing?
Yeah, I mean, if you don't feel familiar, if you don't feel comfortable with instant inductions, you could do everything that I just said, with the Dave Elman induction, or even your progressive muscle relaxation induction. The problem is that can sometimes take a long time, but you can do everything and it'll still be impressive, even with a longer induction. And I mean, you're the expert, and they are going to love you.
Yeah, especially if you make them feel good. Yeah. People usually forget what you told them, but they will always remember how you made them feel.
Very good point.
Isn't that?
By the way, did I answer your question?
I think you did.
Yes, thank you.
There's a long question.
Yes, kind of.
Okay, great. Kind of. Was there something further you were wondering?
No, I don't think.
Oh, no, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome.
Okay, so Adele's asking, the first time I saw you live at the UK Hypnosis Convention about 4 to 5 years ago blew me away. Seeing you hypnotize people as you told us how you hypnotize people. Then you walked up to someone in front of me and 3 others and said sleep, and they went straight in deep. Amazing to see, especially when you haven't seen it in real life before. So how do you do that? Is that exactly how you describe it?
Anybody can do that.
Really?
you know, anybody can do that. It's now, as I said, I don't keep secrets, but I do sneaky stuff sometimes. And so the the finger magnets into an induction, that's kind of sneaky. The fact that I do a slower induction masked as a stress reducer, just so that I can identify the most highly hypnotizable people in the room. That makes it. I'll even do. I meet I get there early, and I meet the people as they come in, and I greet them, and I say, I don't suppose you've ever been hypnotized before. And some of them will say, oh yeah, I was in a hypnosis show years ago, and I said, did you have a good time? Oh yeah, I loved it. Well, did they keep you until the end of the show? And that question is really telling, because if they kept you till the end of the show, that means you're a great hypnotic subject, and I could do anything to put you into trance. Yeah. So people will tell me, oh, and then sometimes here's my favorite trick. And you probably, I know I did this one in the UK because I do it everywhere I present. I'll say, I'm very safety conscious. I've never hurt anyone. So I do have one request for you. There are these people known as virtuosos, and a virtuoso is a wonderful hypnotic subject. As a matter of fact, they can't keep out of hypnosis. And so the problem with virtuosos is when they go into trance, sometimes, they can fall out of their chair. So just for safety's sake, if you are one of those virtuosos, and I'll say, and you know who you are, and then I'll watch, and the virtuosos will all go like this, or sometimes the person sitting next to them will go, that one. They'll point them out. And so I know I can go up and drop that person instantly. It's just, so that's why I never fail, because I cheat.
Yeah. Is that called cheating? Well, it's
called cheating. It's called being sneaky.
Mandy's saying that you changed her water into whiskey. I suppose you're not, doing the water into wine thing, but you.
Well, my goodness, I haven't done that in years and years and years. That's because sometimes somebody got fussed at me for doing that, I mean, if they're already drinking something, then I guess it's fair game. But it's that. Yeah,
Yeah, so she had a
normally
glass of
most of
water
my
and you, yeah.
yeah, more normally my suggestions are quite tame. My
Hmm.
my hypnosis show is quite tame. It's just family friendly. I You can have a wonderful hypnosis show, a wonderfully entertaining hypnosis show, and have it totally clean.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of my reputation. I only do clean hypnosis shows, but water into whiskey, boy, that's about as risque as I've ever gotten.
John,
Welcome
that,
to your
that
club.
was that was in Ireland a few months
Oh,
ago.
well, Ireland. Well, there you go.
So you have done it in the past few years, in the a few months ago.
That's right.
Oh, like
That would put it in the last 3 years,
3 months
wouldn't
ago. Yeah, 3 months ago.
it?
Ingar says, I'm a somnambulist and some call me a flopper. I'm easy with people I trust. Okay, so floppers. Let's talk about floppers.
Okay. Well, an interesting thing is just because somebody's a flopper doesn't mean that they will always go into hypnosis quickly with everybody, which is something I didn't understand when I was new to hypnosis. Um, Now, there are some floppers that, like, no, they can't resist.
Let's
And if
explain
you
to
ever look,
anybody who doesn't know what a
okay,
flopper is,
okay,
what a
a
flopper is.
flopper is stage hypnosis talk for somebody who is an extreme somnambulist. And if you do an induction on them, they just
Fall
go
onto the floor.
right,
Yeah,
right. Well, they can. And well,
yeah.
that's the other thing with safety. Always consider everybody you're hypnotizing to be a flopper because you might have to catch them. Most people, not a problem. Like 99% of people, not a problem. And also, if you see somebody beginning to go over, you can always use the hypnotic safety belt. You tell them that it's as if they have a safety belt holding
Hmm.
them in the chair and they cannot fall out of the chair because this belt is there. And
Right.
that works with almost everybody. So, but anyway, flopper, okay. First rule number one, never trust your subject because they might be a flopper. Okay.
Yeah.
Never trust anybody. Treat them all as if they were floppers. Um, and then the other thing is that so I thought that if you're a flopper, any hypnotist could hypnotize you. But some of the floppers, in fact, a lot of them, if they don't trust you, they're not gonna flop. They're not going to go straight into
Mm.
hypnosis, which is good. Um, but there are people, there are people out there who they just can't help themselves. You just look
Mm.
at them and they will go. If they think it's an induction, boom, they're gone.
Yeah.
And yeah, we love them, don't we?
Yeah, it takes 10 seconds or less sometimes. And anything can
Oh,
be an induction.
that's right. Oh yeah, quick story.
Oh,
I
yeah.
was at a conference in Los Angeles, probably 15 years ago, and I was demonstrating a suggestibility test, the Spiegel eye roll test, where
Oh,
you
we
look
did
up.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
you did that once with
yes,
me. I was a really good subject, I
yes,
think.
yes. And so I was showing. We had a circle of about six of us, I guess, and I was showing this, and there was an older lady that was standing off about 10 meters away. She was looking at us and she came over and she said, "What are you doing?" And I said, "We're doing the Spiegel eye roll." And she said, "Can you do it with me?" And I
Mm.
said, "Sure." And I said, so look right up here as if there was a window right here. And she almost fell to the floor
Wow.
because she thought it was an induction and it wasn't an induction.
Yeah.
Okay. And luckily, one of my friends caught her
Hmm.
before she hit the floor. It was kind of scary, but yeah,
Wow.
because she thought it was an induction, boom, she was gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Wow. I heard you use the Spiegel eye roll test to check suggestibility in hypnosis shows. Is it ever helpful when working one-on-one? Linda would like to know.
It's see, well, when I'm doing hypnotherapy, I don't use suggestibility tests in the office, and the
Hmm.
reason for that is that they came there to get hypnotized, and
Yeah.
so there's no doubt they're going to go into hypnosis. However, what would happen if you had a really good hypnotic subject and they came into your office and you did a suggestibility test on them and they didn't do very well with it? Now you started to put the doubts in their mind as to
Hmm.
whether or not they're going to be able to do this, go into hypnosis for you. So I don't use suggestibility tests in the office, but if I have a client who maybe I've seen a couple of times or something like that, and we're just sitting around chatting, and they say, "Well, how do you tell?" And I might, because I love talking and teaching about hypnosis, so I might demonstrate it to them. After we've done a couple of sessions, I will also use suggestibility tests when I'm doing talks to groups,
Right.
because it's very entertaining and people just like to see it. And Spiegel eye roll is, I think, one of the most impressive suggestibility tests.
It looks cool, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. It does.
All right. Okay, so let's get to rapid and instant inductions.
Mhm.
Can we do them online?
Okay, rapid inductions. When I studied in 2005, I took the best hypnosis course that I ever took, and that was with Gerald Kine.
Oh yeah,
And
yeah,
yeah, in DeLand, Florida, which is actually about 40 miles away from where I am right now. And anyway, and he used to define rapid and instant, as rapid as being something that took less than 5 minutes,
hmm
and instant as something that just happens immediately.
right,
And so I kind of use that definition. So rapid inductions, Dave Elman induction fits that very nicely, because
yeah,
Dave Elman induction takes 3 minutes
hmm
or less. And so, can you use a rapid induction online? Yes, absolutely. As a matter of fact, that's the only thing I use when I'm online.
yeah,
Instant inductions, no, not really. I mean, you could do
yeah,
a re-induction online, but you can't do a shock induction. You can't do, because you need the physical. All right, could you do something similar to what the Abbey Faria used to do back in, the late 1700s, early 1800s, and that's get them to turn the volume up on their headphones really, and then scream at them, "Slate!"
oh
And then, okay, so maybe, but I don't want to do that to somebody. I don't want to blow
yeah,
their eardrums out just so I
yeah,
can prove that I can do an instant induction over online. I don't think, no, you can't do, in my opinion, you can't do an instant
yeah.
induction online.
Unless you do maybe anchoring, because you said you could reinduce
Oh,
online after.
re-inductions. Yeah,
Yeah,
re-inductions, you can do that, but not
yeah.
a from the cold start. Nah, it doesn't. It's not possible, in my opinion.
hmm
But if anybody finds a way, let me know.
Well, I think because I work with a lot of clients who have to use self-hypnosis as per homework.
Uh-huh.
So we set an anchor during the first session, and they kind of can take themselves in within seconds.
That's fine. Yeah.
So that
Yeah. So that's, I mean,
might
technically,
definitely,
I mean, I would call that a reinduction, but,
yeah,
or self-hypnosis,
right,
but,
yeah. Well, can you not have self-hypnosis with instant inductions? I don't know. Would a fl wait, if a flopper does
uh-huh.
self-hypnosis, do they flop to
Uh-huh.
the floor? I don't even know.
They could.
Probably, yeah. Ah,
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
some of them go straight into Esdaile state and boom, which I'm not sure I even believe in anymore. But anyway, yeah, some people, the floppers, when they do their self hypnosis, they flop.
Okay, so why don't you believe in Esdaile state anymore? Esdaile is when you've got your arms stretched out, your legs stretched out, or
Right.
you can and you
Very
don't
deep.
notice you've got rigidity of the limbs, right?
Right.
And you
Right.
that,
Sometimes it's like, well, that's one of the things that made me begin to
that you would
doubt the
that you would
Esdaile
look at.
state,
Yeah.
because we used to test. I guess this goes back to Gerald Kine. We used to test it, and we would make their arms stiff in front of them and their
Yeah.
legs stiff in front of them, so they look like they were riding a Harley Davidson
Mm,
motorcycle or something.
yeah.
But what I found was that when you demonstrate the Esdaile state with other hypnotists, yes, they get that way. But when you
Yeah.
demonstrate the Esdaile state with a non-hypnotist,
hmm
most of the time they're floppy. They don't go stiff. They don't
Right.
go into catalepsy. Why is that? And it may be expectancy. It may be that
hmm
the students are just doing what they're expected to do.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, that was when I began having doubts about it. The other one was the teaching, and I guess this comes from Dave Elman. The teaching is that, or was, that when you go into Esdaile state, don't bother doing therapy with them, because
hmm
they won't take suggestions. And then one of my students said, "Well, you just demonstrated the Esdaile state." And I said, "Yes." and then you told them to come out of hypnosis. I said,
Yeah.
yes. And they said, isn't that a suggestion? I said, well, yeah.
Right.
So
Okay.
they took that suggestion.
Yeah.
So yeah, so I don't know. I really need to investigate it further. And that, I
Yeah.
mean, that's one of the things that I get to do at this stage in my career is experiment. And I
Yeah.
love to experiment. And so I have a group that meets once a month and we just play and I get to experiment with people. And when I'm at a hypnosis conference, um, I just find out what my latest project is, what I'm doing, and I'll see if we can get together. We'll bring a group up to my room and we'll all
Yeah.
practice like the headache cure, the Dave
Oh,
Elman
yes.
migraine cure, which is
Yeah.
amazing. And yeah, because we did that the last time we were at Hypnothoughts. I invited a few people up and we
Yeah.
ran the process. And
So we have a question. I have a friend who suffers badly with migraines, and this is about the headache hypnosis, but is
uh
also diagnosed psychotic. Could hypnosis be done in a way, any way safely for her, for this specific, on her for this specifically?
wow. Um, I guess it would depend on what the psychotic diagnosis was. I wouldn't work with. I don't work with medical conditions, which
Yeah.
a migraine is, without a
Mm.
physician's referral.
Yeah.
But if the person was a psychotic, I would definitely get a referral
Yeah.
from the psychiatrist or psychologist because I never want to harm anyone. But
Yeah.
if I got permission, yeah, I'd do it. I have the migraine cure. I'll share that too. That's if
Mhm.
anybody wants it.
Sure. You'll be sharing everything.
Yeah. Hey, what
Yeah,
what else am I gonna do with it? Yeah.
that's true. Okay, so we've talked about rapids and instants, and we can do them in the wild only and not online. Or, well, rapids, yes, rapids we can,
In
instants we
person.
can't. Instants are the short ones in person, yeah. So what are they especially good for, and why would you prefer them to the longer inductions?
Okay. The reason is that for some people, that is the best way to get them into hypnosis.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, Sometimes, if someone is very analytical, an instant induction is really the way to go. The
Hmm.
Dave Elman induction works very, very well with analytical people because it doesn't really give them very much time to think about what's going on. They just
Yeah.
follow the instructions and they go into hypnosis. But for some people, it's just the way to go, just because they're hard to hypnotize. Another thing is an instant induction is very good for emergencies.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have time to do, if somebody's bleeding by the roadside, you don't have time to do a progressive muscle relaxation
Yeah.
induction on them. That doesn't work. So yeah, it's very good for that.
Mm-hmm. I'll read them out to you,
Okay, thank you.
the questions. But to get back to instant rapids, now I've lost my
Hmm.
train of
Hmm.
thought. Um, no, okay. Explain the mechanism. That's my question of an
Okay,
instant induction, please.
okay. Um, it all works on the fight or flight reaction that all human beings have.
Hmm.
And when you're shocked, be it a loud sound or a quick physical movement, you go into fight or flight. So fight, flight, or freeze, according to I think it was a 1932 paper by Walter Cannon.
Hmm.
And anyway, so you shock them, and they they go into fight or flight, and at that moment, they will do whatever you tell them to do, as
Hmm.
long as it's very quick and understandable. And when they go into that, you say sleep, and the brain gets it, and they close their eyes and they relax down, and the adrenaline flows away, and they just go into a hypnotic state. So
Hmm.
that's the mechanism for that.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got the hand push induction. We've
Hand
got
drop induction, yeah.
hand drop, hand push, hand drop.
I,
Yeah.
I call it a hand drop, yeah. Hmm.
Yeah. We've got the butterfly induction. Which other ones do we have? How many are there? Like,
Oh, there are as many as you can think of, so long
okay.
as you give a shock to the person, and it doesn't have to be a big shock. I mean, and you don't get carried away and don't hurt people.
Yeah.
But but yeah, just a quick movement and a quick movement. Oh, the bunny hop induction.
Bunny hop induction. Okay, explain the bunny hop induction, Sean, please.
All right, let me finish this thought. Okay, so as long as you
Yeah,
do a quick movement or a quick sound or something like that, it gives you the spike of the
yeah,
nervous system, and then you
yeah.
say sleep, and they go in. All right, the bunny hop induction. All right,
Hmm.
all right. I got a call. Oh my gosh, this is probably almost 20 years ago, from this old hypnotist, and he said, I wanted to talk to you because I was wondering if you'd show me if these instant inductions are real. Actually, he knew they were real, but I think he wanted to find out if I was real. So anyway, he came over. I invited him over to my office, and I showed him the inductions, and he was very grateful. And he said, "Well, let me show you an induction that I learned at the convention a couple of
Hmm.
years ago." And he said it was called the cockroach on the bar induction.
Oh, Jesus. Oh,
And yeah, I know. Well,
okay.
that's okay. Now your reaction is why we did the bunny hop. So anyway, so he said you sit up at the bar, right? You put your hand around the person, your arm around the person that you're going to
Mhm.
induce, and you tell them this, give them this little story about this cockroach crawling along the bar as you skitter along in the bar, and then and then you slam your hand down and say sleep, and then boom, they go into hypnosis, right? That's a
Oh,
cockroach on the bar induction. So
right.
anyway, so I did that a couple of times, and one of the ladies said, "That's gross." And I said, "What, a cockroach?" And she said, "Yeah, I don't like them." I said, "Well, I don't like them either. And what do you want? What should I change it to? Would a bunny be better?" And she said, "Yeah, the bunny would be better." So anyway, so the bunny hop induction. Okay, so you give them a little story. You put your arm around them so that you can hold them in place,
Hmm.
and you say, usually you do it sitting at a table, and they sit next to you. You say, "There's a little bunny, and he's a baby bunny, and he was a very new baby bunny, and he was hopping through the meadow, and he came upon a fox, and he got a little closer, and he got a little closer, but then he hopped over the fox and got away." Okay, and then the baby bunny goes through and meets three things, and one of them is a snake, and one of them is a whatever. You come up with something that would eat a
Hmm.
bunny, right? And the baby bunny gets closer, gets a little closer, and then he hopped over, and you slam your hand down on the table, and that's the shock. And then you
Right.
say sleep, and poof, and they go into hypnosis. That's the baby bunny induction. Yes, and I
Oh,
love
great.
the baby bunny induction.
So we've got two or three inductions now to use.
Yeah, I haven't
There's
done that one in years.
you should in Vegas, for
Yeah, all right,
example.
all right. We'll do it in Vegas.
Do you use the arm of steel that can't be pushed down in the Elman when working online? So rigid arm, I guess.
Yes, I do. Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Because if you know the Dave Elman induction, and anybody who doesn't know the Dave Elman induction, if you go to my YouTube channel, there there's there are 300 videos on there. Just
Wow.
search for Elman, and you'll find a couple examples of it. Anyway, in the Elman induction, at one point you pick their arm up and make sure it feels nice and heavy, and then you drop it down on their leg or on the arm of the chair. Just all right. But you can't do that obviously if you're working online using not Skype but Zoom, using
So,
Zoom.
yeah.
So anyway, so what you do in place of that is you tell them to make their arms stiff and rigid, so stiff that they can't bend it, and that when you snap your fingers, the arm will flop down like a wet dish rag, and they'll go much deeper. Okay,
Mm.
so that's the way you change the Dave Elman induction so that it is usable on Zoom. And in fact, here's your hypnotic trivia for the day. That's the original Dave Elman induction, is the one with
Uh,
the stiff arm, but he changed it because he was teaching physicians and dentists, and he said, "I think it looks stupid if you go in a doctor's waiting room and there are all these people standing around with a stiff arm. It just looks unprofessional." So that's why he changed it to what we now do in the office.
right.
But yeah, that's the original Dave Elman induction.
How do you know this? Is that from Larry and Cheryl?
Yes,
Yeah.
because Larry and I were teaching a class in Tampa, Florida in probably 2007. And
Oh,
I had,
that's Larry Elman, the son of Dave Elman, and
yes,
Cheryl,
right,
his
his
wife.
son.
Yeah, Larry's
Yeah,
son. Yeah,
yeah, who passed away recently.
passed away. Yeah, last year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so I had heard the original Dave Elman induction in a recording, but there's no video of Dave Elman doing this induction. So I was doing it, and I had somebody up there, and I was walking through it, and Larry was sitting in the audience, and he went, "Oh, that's not it at all." And he got up, and I just went and sat down, and he did it the way his father used to do it, the original
Right.
Dave Elman induction, and we got it on film, right?
Yeah.
And that was the first time, probably in 50 years, that the original Dave Elman induction was done. Was when
Yeah.
in Tampa, Florida, in 2007, when Larry Elman showed us. So yeah.
That's great. I think Carol Ann has to go. Yeah, of course, the recording is going to be on YouTube as usual, the replay. And because Sean's mentioned so many things, we're going to put those into the comments in the show notes as well for you
Okay.
to get to and download, the link to the YouTube channel, etc. So, okay, now let's get back to rapid and instant inductions. You did say that
Okay.
they're good in an emergency.
Yeah.
So, and I know that you have been to Ukraine together with Hans Rudy Wipf of Hypnosis in Switzerland,
Hmm.
and somebody else as well.
Yeah, there were two other
There were
ones.
two other people, yeah.
Richie, our cameraman, and they were filming for a documentary, and then oh my gosh, the other guy's name is slipping my mind. When it comes to me, I'll mention his
Yeah.
name, give him credit. But yeah, there were four of us, three
Mhm.
Swiss guys and me.
So why did you go to Ukraine?
Well, it's a great place to go for a holiday. No, for for a holiday. No, we had talked about this for a couple of years, ever
Mm,
since the invasion in 2022, and we were actually I was at a convention, and Hans said, "I've got this idea. I want to go to Ukraine. You want to
mm,
go?" And I said, "Yeah, I'll go." And
yeah.
then that was it. And then
Okay.
it took us a year and a half to get this arranged, because we had to be invited, and we had to arrange for the students,
Mhm.
and getting all the materials there, and it was just and it's difficult to get in there because you can't fly
Yeah.
in. You have to take the train,
Hmm.
and yeah, so it was complicated. But
Yeah.
Hans did I swear, all the logistics I put down to him. He did an
Wow.
outstanding job.
Mm,
He's quite the organizer. And so we got in there. We had 34, I think, psychologists and psychiatrists, and a couple of mental health students. And yeah, we taught about 12 hours a day for 7 days.
wow.
And I think they were some of the most motivated students I've ever had. They were, because they're working in this rehabilitation hospital every day, and they've got these horrors that they have to experience every day in the rehab,
Mm.
because this is the biggest rehab hospital. So this is where guys get their operations, and they get their
The
prosthesis
soldiers.
put on, and the soldiers,
Yeah.
right?
Mm,
Soldiers. They do some work with civilians, but it's primarily for the soldiers.
yeah.
And boy, they do take care of their boys. They take care of their soldiers, and it was the nicest hospital I've ever been in my life. A
Right.
lot of money went into that, mostly European money.
Right.
And but anyway, so we taught them for 7 days, and then we spent 2 days in the hospital working with the soldiers.
Hmm.
And sometimes we were working with the soldier with a translator, and sometimes we were just sitting side saddle with our student and talking them through as they were working with the soldiers.
Hmm.
And yeah, it was really a rewarding experience. We were in Lviv, so we were in the west, so it was
Hmm.
it was pretty safe. We only had a couple of air raids while we were there.
Yeah. So how useful or what's the best thing about rapids and instance in those settings
Well,
and hypnosis in general?
okay. The Dave Elman induction is particularly useful
Hmm.
because because it only takes a few minutes, and then you have the rest of the time to spend with your therapy. So it's so usable, and it's so effective. It's really one of the most effective inductions in the world.
Yeah.
So that's why the Elman, and that's what they're mostly using now. With an instant induction, it's there for the ones that are hard to hypnotize, but it's not used as much. It could be, but you've got these people that have with PTSD
Yeah.
and just horrible experience, and so I held out the instant induction. I think I only used it once in the hospital.
Because a shock
I
induction
don't,
would be, or
yeah, the
instant
shock
induction would
induction.
be,
Yeah, I only used it once in the hospital.
yeah, might be
I,
bad for them. Yeah.
Yeah, the rest of the time we just did Dave Elman induction, which is fine. Takes 3 minutes and you're there.
Yeah. Okay. So, what were you able to help with, or the students that you
Okay.
had? What did they have any, or what troubles did they have before you came, and why did you decide to go to this hospital to teach, or what did they need most?
Well, this hospital, we went there because this was the hospital that invited us, so that was the
Okay.
big deal,
Yeah.
and the things we were able to help, and our students are now able to help with, were things like pain management, trauma, phantom limb pain.
Yeah.
A lot of these guys were missing arms and legs and things like that. So those are the biggies: trauma, pain, and phantom limb pain.
Yeah. And
Oh,
there's a fly.
sleeping,
Sorry.
sleeping.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, did they have any troubles like with painkillers, or getting painkillers, and enough medication and everything, or you know?
Their supply. Well, no, their supplies they're very good. I mean, talking
Mhm.
with soldiers, about half their training before they send them out into the field is
Mhm.
medical.
Right.
How to apply a tourniquet.
Yeah.
How to deal with bleeding, and yeah. So
Yeah.
they're and they have the supplies. They
Hmm.
have it's not a problem. Now, yes, you can use hypnosis for pain management, but
Hmm.
almost all the time, the way to go is with regular anesthesia, and they have
Yeah.
plenty of that. So yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, what's going to happen in the future in Ukraine? Are you planning on going back, or are those students going to teach more people in Ukraine?
That's the plan. I can't go back. I think Hans is planning on going back next in September again,
Right. Okay.
but I
Yeah.
can't go this September.
Okay.
So I would go again, but I'm
Mm.
not free in September, so I can't go on this trip.
Yeah.
But no, it was, and so the idea is to build up the skill level there, and eventually have instructors teaching others. I mean, that's the
Yeah.
best, and then it
That's
just
great.
kind of
Yeah.
spreads. Yeah,
Mm. No, I saw your presentation, or hands in your presentation. Can't remember where it was
it's
now,
probably in
but
London.
in London, yeah. So that was really really great to see, and really touching
Hmm.
as well, that you just go there and help without really any payback, just because it's
Yeah.
needed. So that was really amazing, and yeah, instants and rapids to get back to the subject. So that's what they're great for. Um, so yeah, of course, they're much quicker. You have more time for therapy.
Right.
But is there any advantage that you would see for the long relaxation inductions, to see it from the other
Oh
side?
yeah. I mean, oh, they're nice, and they work.
Mm,
Really, the main negative that I have for the progressive muscle relaxation inductions is the time that it
yeah.
takes to do them. They're good. I mean, uh, if you do a good job with a progressive muscle relaxation induction, you're going to get a good deep trance.
Mm,
And I mean a super deep trance. It's because, all right, here's my take on progressive muscle relaxation inductions. It's
mm,
basically just close your eyes, and then I'm going to give you lots of deepeners. That's it. It's just
Yeah.
deepeners. And
What's wrong with that?
which is fine, right? So you could do Dave Elman induction, and then use progressive muscle relaxation suggestions for your deepener. You could do
Yeah.
that. You could
Yeah.
you could. It's just that it takes a long time. Also, the Elman induction has testing in it,
Yeah.
so you can see how they're doing and check them as you step them into hypnosis. And progressive muscle relaxation doesn't have that. You
Yeah.
just assume that they're going in. I mean, but it's a great induction, and
Hmm.
you'll get very deep trance. And one of my friends told me years ago. She said, "Well, you came up with this product called deepening. Why would you want to deepen a trance?" And I couldn't understand what she was talking about. And then finally I realized she uses progressive muscle relaxation,
Right.
and she just does it on, it goes on and on and on. And her people get super deep. So she didn't
Yeah.
need to use deepeners because
Yeah.
her induction is a deepener.
Yeah.
But it all works. I don't have a strong aversion to or a
Mm.
hatred of people who use progressive muscle relaxation inductions. It's just another way. And if I had somebody who's very old and very frail, yeah, I might use that. Or if
Mm.
I just feel like spending some time with somebody, I might use it. But it's okay. It's not a bad thing.
Sounds weird.
That does. well, what if I look at I get a cancellation? Well, now I'm here for 2 hours anyway. So
Let's do an hour of
I might as well
induction.
keep on talking. Yeah.
Right. And you do have a title to defend, World's Fastest Hypnotist.
Oh, geez. All right. So let me.
Explain,
That's funny.
please.
All right, I will explain. Okay, I'm fast. I'm really fast.
Yeah.
But every one of my students, when they finish my course, is also the world's fastest hypnotist. But the thing is that they don't own the website
Right.
worldsfastesthypnotist.com. And
Okay.
it turns out if you own the website, people believe it. But
Well,
the other
that's
thing
true.
the other thing I like to say though is that you could do these inductions faster than I do them. But if you did, you'd be you would not be operating in a safe manner, I don't think.
Mhm.
I can do the arm pull or the hand drop, and that's fine. But if I try to go faster, I could injure somebody, and
Yeah.
I've never injured anybody. So could you be faster than me? Yes, but would that be safe? I don't think so. I think you might
Mm.
pull somebody's arm out of the socket. I think you might. I don't know. It's not. You might hit somebody too hard. I mean, so yeah. So that's
Yeah.
yes. I'm very fast,
Yeah.
but yeah, it's marketing. It's marketing.
I do have a question there because we do see
Yes.
sometimes those TikTok videos, Instagram, whatever, where people just go
Oh
around on
yeah.
the street and they say sleep, sleep, sleep to like 20 people in a row. What do you have to
Yeah.
say about that?
A reinduction.
Hmm.
Reinduction. The other thing it could be if it was just one person. Remember the story I told about the lady with the Spiegel eye roll?
Yeah. Yeah.
You could do that with one person,
Hmm.
but you're not going to do a line. I've seen them do it. One guy like hits them in the shoulder with his hand, and they all go down. And yeah,
Yeah.
nah.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, they must be
entertainment, but
faster
it's
than you otherwise in that context.
yeah, must be. They must know something I don't know.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. So, Sean,
Yes.
because my Mind Explorations group on Facebook is full of hypnotherapists, younger, well, yeah, the younger generation, I guess
Hmm.
you would say,
Yep.
and students, what would your advice be? Or is there anything you'd like us
Ah,
to know?
okay. For new hypnotists, the best thing that you can do is hypnotize lots of people. Um, if you maybe get together with a group of other therapists and meet on a regular basis in person and practice inductions on one another, or what I did to become a really good confident hypnotist was I went out and did street hypnosis. I mean,
Hmm.
when you can hypnotize somebody on the street, it's a piece of cake to hypnotize somebody who comes into your office to get hypnotized.
Yeah.
So street hypnosis helped me a lot. But also one of the things I did was I started a hypnosis meetup, and we would get together once a month.
Hmm.
And some of our meetups, and we'd have 30 people there. And the format would be I would teach a concept like the hand drop induction or the Dave Elman induction or something like that. And then we would pair up and we'd practice on one another. And then you do that, and then you switch partners and you practice again. Because if you're a brand new hypnotist, you need to get the inductions down. The inductions need to be automatic. They need to be, you don't think about them. You don't, because you've done them hundreds and hundreds of times, and it's just a thing that I do. And you, because you gain that confidence, and that confidence comes through to your client or your subject that you're working with. And when they see that confidence, that makes them more highly hypnotizable. So that's hypnotize lots of people. The other suggestion for new hypnotists is get out there and see clients. You've got to see clients, and you're not going to be really great in the beginning, and your success rate is not going to be fantastic, but you have to go out there and do it. And because you will learn more from your clients than you will learn from any class that you're ever going to take. I tell people, I wish I could get like my first few clients, if I could get in touch with them and give them their money back, because I was confident, but boy, I don't think I was very good.
Would you hypnotize people for free though? Sorry.
Well, okay, well, I would do that. And the thing is, there's a trade-off, right? And if you hypnotize people for free, clients, then the therapy tends not to stick because it's free. If they paid something for it, then they've got money in the game, and it tends to they value it more, and the therapy tends to stick. But I don't see anything wrong with working with your friends for free your first bunch of clients. I mean, I tell people when they take a certification course with me, get on Facebook right now and let people know you're in an advanced hypnosis course, and start lining them up. Who wants to lose weight? Who wants to stop smoking? Because I'm coming back on Tuesday, and boom, we're gonna jump in. And that's how you start working with clients, and that's what's going to make you a good hypnotist.
And that's how you build confidence. Wonderful.
Yes.
All right, guys. Any other questions while we're still here? Because we're going to close in a minute. And is there anything else that we haven't mentioned, Sean, that we should mention?
I don't think so. I have a newsletter that that comes out. It doesn't come out as regularly as it used to, but what I do is I collect hypnosis news and I teach techniques and that sort of thing. So it's a very newsy newsletter. It's not salesy. So anyway, if you go to my website, or you send me your email, that's the best thing.
Yeah, that's the way it says on your website.
We tested my website before we came on, and apparently it's not working very well right now.
Not entirely, no.
No. So anyway, send me your email and I'll get it. And it comes out every now and then. It used to come out every week. I got to get better at that. I've put out over 500 issues of it since 2007. So.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
I'm just putting the website into the chat, and the what you need to do to get the newsletter. Yeah.
Okay. Great. Yeah. And let's see what else. I might do a certification course in 3
months time. You said
nothing is planned, and if I do decide to put it on, then I'll announce it in the newsletter. But no, that's it. Go to my YouTube channel and see over 300 videos of me hypnotizing people and talking about hypnosis.
I'll find your channel for everyone.
Just search for World's Fastest Hypnotist, and it'll pop up.
Fastest. Oh God, Indian.
Yep.
The world's fastest.
We did this before. It's not fattest, Astrid. It's not fattest.
So the one with, oh yes, that's you. Oh my God, you are good looking in that one. There you go. So that's Sean's channel in the chat as well. And that's all going to go onto the replay notes. What else? Then I'll need a PDF from you, but that we'll sort all that out. And whatever else you guys need. If you are watching the replay or you are in the group, just leave a comment either on the YouTube channel or on Facebook, and I'll do my best to get back to you, or Sean will. And thanks everyone for attending. This was a great one.
Yes, thank
Thanks,
you all.
Sean, for being here. And I'm
Thank you,
looking forward
Astrid.
to
It's been
seeing you
fun.
again soon. So
Yeah, see you
thanks,
soon.
great input and advice. Thanks for offering to share your. Whoa, now I need to. Thank you. Oh God, lots of thanks. I don't think I'll be reading all of those.
Okay.
But thanks for all
Well, thank
all
you
the
all for
resources.
coming. It's been lots of fun. I'll talk
Yeah.
about hypnosis all day. So
Okay, let's keep going. No, I need to go to bed. So thank you so much, and everybody, bye bye. See you next time after the
bye
summer
bye,
break.
everybody.
Bye.